2021. My name is Cristina Jimenez, and I have the pleasure to be here with Jean Redman and Sean Hintz in this panel titled Female Identity and Women Exchange Network. So I'll start introducing Jean Redman. Jean is Native American, and her native name is Wasaki Emaniwi, meaning a strong walking woman. Jean is a seer, actively using her psychic and healing abilities that follows a traditional lifestyle and spiritual practices, and is recognized as an elder and wisdom keeper. She has worked actively with the Wisconsin Breast Cancer Recovery Foundation and conducting retreats for women from a residential alcohol and drug treatment facility. She also specializes in retreats for corporations and businesses throughout the country. Much of her focus is on the healing and promotion of women. She was honored by the Wisconsin Public Television as one of the 20 people who has influenced the health of Wisconsin women. Jean is recognized in the United States and other countries for her work as an artist specializing in Native American beaded and leather jewelry. So Jean, to start off, I'd like to know, for you, what are the main female attributes and characteristics women need to be aware of and proudly protect and nurture in a corporate world most dominated by men?
It's an interesting time that we're in because we have come full circle. And at this time, according to prophecy and oral tradition, it is when women are again standing up and taking their rightful position. And that means in their home, their family, their community. And that does mean in business. So women have to look at their job, no matter what level they are in their career, as part of their journey in life. And the first thing they have to do is make certain they don't compromise who they are as women. We are not meant to try and function as men on any level in our life. We already are the center of the circle of life. Therefore, it's really important that we take note of who we are. And that means going all the way back to what made us a woman, what attributes do we have, how do we become the power, the guide, the grounded person that we're meant to be to step forward in our life. We also have the responsibility to be the example. Women automatically have wisdom and knowledge, common sense, and they have a way of being grounded and in balance. And that's what we have to look at bringing into our life, both personally and professionally. But we don't give up or compromise who we are as women.
That's really interesting. So in your opinion, what are the most common female strengths, weaknesses, and drivers?
I think we're coming out of a time when women have attempted to have success professionally by trying to follow the pathways that men followed. So they gave up their sensitivity, their compassion, and started coming more from their mind than their heart. And it is a time when they have to bring the heart connection into the business world, because that is the only way they'll be the success and the guidance that we need. And by that, I mean, women have the strong ability to function from the heart. They can be grounded, they can be aware, but they can look at all situations, not from loose emotion, but from grounded emotion, compassion, direction, and guidance. So that's something women have to reclaim. It's not just how intelligent you are, but it's who you are as a spiritual being, who you are as an emotional being, and put all of that into balance, body, mind, and spirit. That will bring the success, and that gives us the direction. It opens the door for communication.
Okay. So, Jean, we're coming out of a time where indigenous traditions in the world were systematically suppressed and almost lost. So, from your tradition, what is the role of women in society, in business, and how are connections important?
As I had said, it is such an important time that we're in now. According to the prophecy, we are in that time where all things that are not in alignment with world peace have been revealed. And with that, the prophecy states that from the hearts of the women, they shall create 1,000 years of world peace. And that is what we're doing right now. We are creating that. And we have to look at our role in life. Women have always been the center of the circle of life. We are the ones that create the home, the family, the community, and that includes business. It also includes politics. And we have to look at what kind of world we're creating and how we want that to go forward. So take a moment and look at your life and your journey and the gifts that you're bringing, and then bring those into corporations, bring that awareness into corporations. And it's an important aspect that we as women can find the balance and the harmony. We are connected to Grandmother Moon and Mother Earth. And this is a time when part of our job is to save Mother Earth and save all creation. And we do that by being aware and creating circles in our life. For from those circles is the community and the communication. Women need to network. We need to have circles, business circles, social circles, family circles. But women are the circle and the center of that circle of life. So keep your networking strong. Be there to support and lift up all other women. That's a key element. What has been very detrimental in life for women is the gossip. Women were falling into gossip rather than empowering each other. And now is the time they need to have circles, they need to communicate. What I have seen in corporate America is the beginning of women gathering. They will have meetings or circles once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month, but they will gather in circle to communicate and share and look at what they need to do as the women to step forward and help the corporation and the community. So it's an important time, but it's not a time where we are meant to do this alone. This is a time where we are meant to come together in circle.
Again, that's very inspiring. Now, next, we also have here Sean Hin. So I'm going to introduce you. Sean is a business-minded engineer. Throughout her career in the automobile industry for big companies such as Toyota, Honda, and Magna, she has been working in an environment mostly dominated by men too. She has been involved in dealing with large cross-functional teams, negotiations of prices, budgets, and the timing of engineering processes. In her work, the supply chain must work flawlessly, and for that, she believes that determination, work ethic, communication skills, detail orientation, and moral values are of crucial importance. So, Sean, the importance of the supply chain can be extrapolated to any daily common life situation. The life and work flow easily when all members involved do their part. In your experience, what are the main qualities in women that help to put order and motivation to each member of the team to attain the common goal?
Well, thank you, and it was so very interesting to hear the synergies between what we'll say from a spiritual mindset and an organizational mindset. So the the main goals of women and the traits of women, we tend to lean toward empathy and problem solving, using your heart. I was really drawn to that statement in the earlier conversation of women as diverse thinkers and understanding of critical situations and movement in a different way, communication in a different style. So as we look into the struggles that industry is facing with supply shortages and labor shortages and in turmoil, the ability of women to focus on empathetic leadership, on compassion, and real true problem solving is going to help us move forward in the end.
Yeah, you talked before about the importance of the circle of women. What is your experience and your thoughts about women exchange networks?
Well, I've worked for a male dominated industry my entire career, and I have to say that I was not used to working with women. I hadn't had great experiences working with women because it had been in an environment that could be competitive or challenging. So, really seeing how in the past I've seen women break each other down versus empowering and building each other up. And we see that in our social communities as well as our business communities. So, during the pandemic, Magna took the stance that it was time to launch our employee resource groups, and the women's exchange was our first. And the intent of the women's exchange really is to create a community for the women within Magna to build each other through networking, through mentoring, through skill development. And as we work together and meet each other and see that there are so many more commonalities than there are competition, we'll really have the opportunity to grow and support versus challenge, and that's going to be critical for us moving forward. So seeing that firsthand was new to me, and I'm very excited to see that we seem to be shifting that way in both community as well as corporation.
That's really interesting. So it seems like that movement came up from the company. So do you feel that women like yourself who are in a position of power and leadership have a responsibility to lift up, support, and teach other women? So how do you bring that to your workplace? So you explain right now what are the mechanisms from the company, but from you, what are from your personal point of view, what how do you bring that to the workplace, and what recommendation would you do to other women in power and leadership positions?
Well, in leadership positions, we absolutely have a responsibility to model what our expectations are. So if you're a leader within your organization, if you're a leader within your life, your family, it's not simply a corporation. You can be an individual contributor and a leader. You want to model what you'd like yourself to be treated as and what you'd like your organization to move in. So celebrating the good, celebrating the opportunities of people that are working hard and acknowledging the time and effort that people are putting into their careers, um, allowing flexibility for individuals to work when they can and when they need to, and knowing that the world is ever changing. So we need to increase flexibility there. Throughout the community, we utilize different social networking platforms to congratulate each other, to acknowledge the positives that are happening, and to really build when somebody is going above and is challenging themselves, even if it's simply stepping out of their comfort zone. Our methods that we're using within Magnet, and I'm using within my personal life as well.
Mhm. This is a question for both of you, so maybe you can start, Jean, and then follow Sham. So, as women, how women have so many responsibilities in their daily life, family. We are, as you said, Jean, the center of the family. So, how can that be incorporated in the work space when you have problems with your kids that are sick? So how do you recommend women to stepping forward in proud of the responsibilities and be able to make a room for that in the corporate world?
Well, what I'm seeing is corporations, businesses as a whole, are viewing the role of women quite differently than they used to. So they're more lenient when there's a sick child involved. They realize that a mother needs to be with and tend that child at that time. But it's about the commitment. I think it also shows the wonderful strength and durability that we as women possess. We can be successful in corporations, we can be a successful mother, we can be a successful wife, friend, sister. What we usually fall short on is nurturing ourselves. We put ourselves out there for everyone and everything else. What I caution women about is this is a time where you must take time to self nurture. So I think women have to pause and know that they can be grounded and handle every situation, be there for everybody, and multitask, but not at the expense of self. You must find time for your self nurturing, your self awareness, your self esteem, self confidence, self respect. And when we do that, we renew ourselves. So find the time for self renewal, but know that you can handle everything.
Thank you. Sean, what is your life experience in that regard?
Well, I mean, at this stage in my life, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, a sister, a friend. So I know that we have so many, so many elements that tend to pull us in multiple directions. And I hear a lot of work-life balance, and really, I like to think of it as integration because what when we tend to look at balance, we think, okay, I can be a female at home and I can be a male at work, and I will balance this as a teeter-totter. And at some point, you will always fall on a teeter-totter. So if you really look at the integration of how you can manage that, taking the strengths that you have as a parent or a caregiver and bringing that into the corporation, they're common strengths. They're common elements that you should be proud of that you can grow. And in terms of the pandemic, I think we're very fortunate because employers were able to see that you do not need to be in the seat at your desk to fulfill your job. So taking that flexibility that we were forced to understand and utilizing that to support the workforce, to support the women of the workforce is going to be what makes good companies great. And I'm very excited to see that. But I resonated with what Jean had said. You need to set boundaries, boundaries that give time for yourself, boundaries that give time for your families, and boundaries that allow you to give yourself to your work when you want to. Because if you do not have these boundaries, there are a lot of pull, and the digital world allows that to be 24 hours. So you really do need to set some boundaries and be able to support yourself to ensure that you have that re-energy that you need.
Mm, that's very wise and goes back to the having a circle of women to support each other. No, so I mean, a burden when it's shared with others, they have the common burden feels lighter. Um, so now that you talk, Sean, about the pandemic, and now we are in times where there is kind of a official narrative, and dissenting voices are not really good. Um, Many women, mothers, daughters can feel like the fly on the milk, the weirdo when they have different opinions. So, what do you recommend to women in the corporate world to be that dissenting voice, but be proud of it because they really believe in what they're doing or saying, or they want to be the change? No, so what would be the recommendation not to be just like the others and blend like the others, but be true to yourself?
Well, I think that we've got a great opportunity in the world right now. There's so much change, and change can be scary to everyone. But with that change, gives us the ability to really move forward and really make some progress. So, and in the past, women have tend to maybe be invited to the table and sit back. And now is the time to use your skill and use your communication to really ask for what's needed and support each other and identify when you have other women from your circle in situations to ensure that their voice is heard as well. It's time to lean in and lean forward and do that on a consistent basis. Just keep swimming in that right direction and we'll get there.
Jean, would you like to add some to what Sean said?
Well, as I had said earlier, we as women are the wisdom keepers, the wisdom carriers. And it's so true that we must have voice. We must set the example. And we must live what we teach. We must live what we choose to see in the world. So you're absolutely correct. We have to have boundaries. We have to have balance, but having voice, having communication, and knowing that we are part of the sacred circle of life, that we are part of a circle of women that lift each other, empower each other, and help find the balance, the humanity and humility. So all of these things are coming together now on every aspect of our life.
Okay, so we have some time, and I would like you to have the opportunity to address thousands of women that will be listening to you. What is a message from your heart, starting with Sam, to them? That's up to you. You have the opportunity.
Well, I I'm just so excited about this platform. I was unaware of what's been done in the past, and I think it's just a tremendous platform for everybody that's been working together. I've heard that you touched more than 4,000 women last year and a goal for over 10,000 this year. So that's just incredibly exciting for us to be able to work together. But I've resonated today with what Jean is saying in circles and women supporting women. And this is a time when your opportunity to be heard and your opportunity to ask for what you want and support each other in what's going to be needed for us to be a diverse nation moving forward, a diverse organization, a diverse community. Because with diversity comes economic growth, comes problem solving that is really equitable for many people involved. And that's both beneficial in the personal and professional sector. So getting your voice out there and communicating and being part of those solutions is incredibly important. And we need to take this opportunity to support each other through this and help each other grow.
Thank you very much. Ian.
Well, as Sean had said, it's so important that we realize how wonderful and powerful and important this time that we're living is. We, according to prophecy, have now become that global village. And women are the ones that create that home and family and community. And being part of a global village and communicating and sharing and helping each other in every way we can helps the entire world. So we have to look at our job, our journey in life, as one that goes beyond ourselves and is now connected to and part of something far greater. And in that way, we are creating the new world, the world of peace. So women have to stand in the center of the circle of life. They have to become that wisdom keeper, that voice. They have to support each other, as we've said many times this morning. It's key. We have to be there for each other and be there for the world.
Well, this has been impressive. I think, well, it's been an honor, really, being here with you in this panel and learning from your insights and your life experiences. So I wish you the best to all of you, to both of you, and in your industry, you will be a change for good in that industry that is male dominant. And Jean, keep going with your wisdom and love for women. So it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Christina.
Okay.